What up, YouTube? I've been seeing a trend on YouTube of dashers tampering with customers' food because they're pissed off about no tips. I understand being angry about the no tip trend going on right now. It really does suck, especially because there's so many of them out there. It's not like you're getting 10 to 15 orders and only 2 of them might be no tips. No, out of 10 orders, probably 8 of them are no tips, at least in my market. And I've seen YouTube videos of other content creators, posting videos of dashers. Obviously, the recent one of the dude saying that a dasher threw Dunkin' Donut coffee at his door or whatnot. First of all, let me say this. A lot of that stuff is scripted, clearly by the horrible acting. But there is that stuff going on. And I don't condone it one bit. I don't. I don't think it's cool that you mess with somebody's food. Not only that, I think it's a felony to tamper with people's food like that. I think there's a big legal issue if somebody wants to push the issue. But tampering with people's food because you didn't get a tip is not cool. That's not cool, and you should definitely lose your job because you don't belong in this industry if you're going to be tampering with people's food over a non-tip. I can't tell you how many times I take no-tip deliveries daily, as long as they're not crazy distances, only because in my market it can be slow. And I know a lot of you guys say no tip, no trip. Yeah, we've all heard that. Good one. What have you been on DoorDash for a week and that's the trend you're riding, or what? But the no tip, no trip trend is okay if you're in a big market and you're getting 5+ orders, 10+ orders an hour, and you have the luxury to decline those. But not everybody, and to be honest, 90% of the people in the DoorDash market don't have the luxury to decline those kind of orders because they're only getting. Sometimes there's times where dashers will sit in parking lots for an hour or two on slow days and not get an order, and then finally get an order and it's like $3 for 2.5 miles. Sometimes you just got to take what you can because you got to stack money. If you decline all those orders in a slow market, you ain't gonna have a paycheck at the end of the week. So I get it, and I understand a lot of the new people think that they can ride that no tip no trip trend, but it just doesn't work like that for everybody. And messing with people's food is completely unacceptable. It's not okay. It's not cool. And I've seen a bunch of content creators, gig workers, doing videos on this kind of stuff, and they pretty much have the same outlook as I do. You just don't mess with people's food. I've been very upset at situations where the algorithm was literally throwing me no tip offers all day long. Like, there's been times where I've gotten 8 no tip orders out of 10 in a day type of thing. And that really does piss people off. I mean, that's totally understandable. I've been there. There's been times I went and dropped off a food, completed the order, there's no tip, and I knew it. Get in my car and I'm like, oh, you dirty bastards, you cheap motherfuckers, whatever the case may be. But I don't say that kind of stuff to the customer because that's not professional. That's not how business is done. It's just not acceptable, and it's not cool. So for all you people out there that are doing that kind of crap, stop it. If this isn't what you want to do, and we all want to deliver $2 a mile orders, that's like $2 to $3 a mile orders. That's what we all want. Congratulations. Yeah, that's common sense. We all want that kind of stuff. But to take stuff out on the customers, because you don't always know what's going on. There's been times where I've delivered orders to customers that I knew were no tip orders, and I was walking up to their door like, because I've delivered to rich people. I've delivered to big brand new houses that were no tip deliveries, and they were handed to me orders, and the people answer the door and they're like, hey, thank you, and no problem, later, and leave it at that. You don't have to be rude to people, but you don't have to smile and be like, hey, thank you for not tipping me, right? No, I mean that that's just how people are. And there's been times where I knew there was no tip orders on there. I would deliver to people and they were handed to me, and come to find out they were senior citizens, like, that could barely move. They're on a very low budget. They get even less money than we do. And that anger instantly, like, as soon as I deliver to somebody that's a no tip delivery, and I realize it's a senior citizen or somebody in those kind of realm, it doesn't bother me. It really doesn't. The second I see that it's a senior citizen, it just goes out of my head. That all that anger or frustration that I had walking up to the door goes out the window. By the time I get back to my car and get in my car, it's already a past thing. It's on to the next customer. Let's do what we got to do. They're not all going to be like that, but not all no tip situations are the same, and not all no tip situations are senior citizens that just don't have the money, that are just trying to eat. And I think we kind of need to reassess the situation, because nobody likes delivering to no tip orders, to no tip people, right? Especially if it's like $5 for 5 miles. $1 a mile basically means no tip, and if it's an upside down order where it's more miles to the pay, it's definitely a no tip. And we have every right to be upset about that, because that's how we make our money. And everybody that orders DoorDash knows that. Not just the gig workers. People who use DoorDash, they've seen content like this on YouTube. They know that no tipping your driver is kind of a prick thing to do. But with that being said, no matter how mad you are, no matter how pissed off you are, you do not have the right to tamper with people's food. You do not have the right. I mean, I've seen videos of people getting caught tampering with people's food on the Ring doorbells. I've seen people being caught by customers videotaping them out the window of people messing with their food in their car before they even get out yet and deliver the food. That's not good. That's not acceptable. And the reality is that can land you in a lot of legal trouble if somebody wants to push your issue, not only losing your job. And it's just not worth it. It's really not. So with that being said, that's just my opinion on it. I've been seeing a lot of this stuff going viral lately, and I mean, I've seen it. Like I said, I've been dashing for like 3 years, and the no tip situation has gotten worse within like the last year or so. I know it's a trend going around TikTok, YouTube. Don't tip. I'm not tipping. Well, that's fine if you're not getting a service from people. Like, I'm not going to go to McDonald's, order food, and tip the cashier for ringing me up. But if you're at a restaurant and the waitress is providing you a service, or you're at a bar and a bartender or a waitress is providing you service, they deserve a tip, just like a pizza delivery guy. And I don't mean dashers that deliver pizza, because we all deliver pizza. We're all pretty much part of the catering, not catering, but the pizza program, right? Because it's the first one we were all able to get into pretty easily. You just need a pizza bag, and those are pretty much given out by the pizza companies. So it's really easy to get into. But you wouldn't dare have pizza delivered to you and not tip your delivery driver, right? Your pizza guy. But you would order pizza on DoorDash and not tip your driver. So you'll tip a pizza delivery guy $5 or $10 for going a couple blocks because you appreciate the services he got you. You get to sit your ass at home and have a pizza delivered to you without having to leave the comfort of your own home. But you want some DoorDash driver to deliver you a pizza 10 miles out, 2 towns away, and not tip that driver? Yeah, that can piss a lot of drivers off. And that could lead to people who can't control their emotions to start losing it. And the first thing people do is, screw this person, I'm going to fuck with his food because he didn't tip me. That's not cool, man. That's not cool. That's not right. And for these people that are getting caught, you deserve to get caught. You deserve to get in trouble, and you deserve to lose your job. I don't care what the circumstances. I don't care if somebody ordered $400 worth of food on a catering order, and they didn't tip you any food, and the order was 15 miles away. Yes, you can decline that order, but you're going to be punished for it. And if you're like in my market, if you're not a platinum driver, it's so saturated out here. If you're not a platinum driver, you can't even get on the schedule. And normally a lot of people in busy markets and big markets, they'll wait till it's busy. DoorDash will send you a message saying it's busy right now. You can dash now. And people can basically work every single day, make their quota. But in slower markets, that's not how it works, and I don't think a lot of people get that. But with that being said, it still doesn't give you the right to tamper with people's food. So if you're one of those drivers out there that are doing this, it's just a matter of time before you get caught. And I hope you do get caught. I hope you do get punished, and I hope you do lose your job, and I hope you do learn a lesson from it. Because if I saw somebody mess, I mean, for one, I wouldn't order food and not tip a driver. But if I was to see a driver tampering with my food, I would literally shove the bag of food down the dude's fucking throat, and I would get it on film, and I would post it just so people can see what should be happening to these drivers that are tampering with people's food. It is not cool. And you guys out there are giving us drivers who take pride in what we do, you're giving us a bad name. And fuck you for that. We don't deserve that. We don't. We take orders all the time. We take no, or people in my market take no tip orders all the time. And we don't justify any of that crap. So tell me, have you guys had any run-ins with this kind of stuff with drivers or anything like that? I mean, obviously you guys have seen it on YouTube. The Dunkin' Donuts guy that's been recently going viral, I think it's scripted. I really do. For one, there's not enough coffee there to justify the full cup that was sitting there standing up. For one, when you throw a cup of coffee, it typically doesn't land straight up with the lid still sitting on it. So And yeah, there was coffee all over the ground, but it wasn't enough coffee to justify that big cup of coffee that was sitting there. I think basically dude spent his last 20 bucks to make his old lady happy and wanted his 20 bucks back, because after they got their coffee and they got their donut, they realized, well, maybe it was kind of stupid of me to spend my last 20 bucks to have a delivery driver bring me a donut and a cup of coffee. And whatever coffee that they didn't drink that got cold, that's what they threw out, and that's what they used the excuse for to get that 20 bucks back. And you know, I turning in drivers for not getting your food, for turning in drivers for vandalizing your food and tampering with your food just to get your money back, if the driver didn't do that, should get you kicked off the platform too, because a lot of us drivers do take pride. I mean, doing delivery is an easy job, right? This is probably one of the more easier jobs out there, but a lot of us take pride in our ratings and stuff like that. I'm pretty prideful about my ratings. You know, I got pretty good ratings, and you know, I'm pretty prideful about that. I would never think about tampering with somebody's food. So let me know. Have you guys dealt with any of this? Have you guys? What do you guys think about all this? I mean, I know most of you guys are probably going to say it's unacceptable, and I agree with you. But I know there's a lot of youngsters out there that think that it's okay to do that kind of crap, and it's not. So until we meet again, friends, peace.